Man, me and the Breville, we used to do everything together. We would sit on the couch and watch some TV. I used to shave with it. I even did bird watching. All jokes aside, I really did love the Breville Barista Express. It was such a great machine for me and my wife. We really truly did love it. But hey, I'm an espresso machine reviewer, and eventually we had to let it go so we can move on to the next machine to review for you. So before I get into the review, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let's get into it. Okay, so this is going to be structured like all my other review videos. We're gonna do pros, and then pros-ish, cons-ish type things, and then true cons. And then I'll give you a score. I did already score this on a video previously, so I'm just repeating that score. If you want to see that video where I compare the Gaggia Classic Pro to the Breville, click on the link in the little box above. All right, so let's get going on this. So the looks is where we're going to start, and I think the looks on this machine are really nice. It's modern, it's all metal. We have a couple of plastic pieces that don't look too obtrusive, but generally speaking, I really like the machine, you know, with the metal design and the curved edges and stuff. It's modern, and I enjoy it. And it's built. It feels like it's built pretty well too. Like all the pieces don't feel like they're chintzy or anything like that. Next thing down the list is the programmable buttons. I really like the programmable buttons because, you know, for one reason, and some people will tell me I'm, you know, crazy for using them, but if I am set this up, if I hit the button and I've already programmed it for the espresso that I'm pooling, I can walk away, grab some milk, grab some, you know, different items to make a latte, sugar, whatever, and I can know that when I come back, the shot won't be terribly bad. Maybe it'll be off by a few grams here, you know, up or down a little bit, but it'll be a drinkable shot, generally speaking, and especially once you put it into a latte, because, you know, you're kind of, you know, watering down the shot with milk. All right, so the other thing too I really like about this is the drip tray. The drip tray is really nice because you can pull it out, and it actually comes with this cute little compartment that you can store all your goodies in. And you know, it has room for plenty of different things. If you want to put your own stuff in there, you could do that as well. The other thing that I really like about it is that this has a little drip tray notification. So once this drip tray fills up, you'll have a little notification bar that says, hey, empty me, because you're going to get water and gross stuff everywhere. So that's really nice. The hot water spout is the other item that I really, really like on the pros list, is that it does have a steam wand like many of other machines, but this is nice because if I just flip the button, it will actually pour out 8 ounces of water. Exactly. So again, this is another time where I could walk away, grab something while I'm trying to make a bunch of cups of coffee or, you know, do whatever, ingredients, and then come back and it'll be relatively, you know, nicely set up. The other items that I like too is the clearance. I really like the clearance for the cups. So you could fit a nice, you know, this whole jug fits under here. If you compare that to a lot of other machines in this category, you are just not going to have that clearance. So I really appreciate that, and I think that if you decide to buy this machine and you're coming from something smaller, you're going to really appreciate it as well. Another item too I really like is the temperature is very consistent on this machine. It's not like a PID controlled system, but it's pretty close to a PID controlled system. So that means that you can get it within a range plus or minus a couple degrees. So it starts at 200 out of the box, and you can go as low as like 196 and as high as 204 by using the buttons to increase or decrease the temperature in the machine. Another item too is the water tank. I really like how easy this water tank pulls up and out. It's super, super nice, super easy, and you could even fill it up from behind here. And it is like about 2 liters. It's, I think, 1.8 liters. So you do have a pretty nicely sized water tank as well. Almost to the bottom here, we're going to sort of transition into sort of pro-ish, sort of con-ish items. Okay, so the grinder on this is pretty good. it does get you in the range of making good espresso, but there are a couple of things about it that I'm not a super big fan of. One is that it is connected to where it gets hot, so as the beans heat up, it does tend to change how, your grinds and everything, so you are going to get some inconsistencies there. The other thing too is that, it is attached to the machine. It's not like you can remove it. So over time, if you ever decide that you want to, upgrade or something like that, you are kind of stuck. So if you want to go for a sete, or you want to get a niche grinder or something like that, you're going to feel like you should have got a different machine, because at that point you just have this grinder here that is, basically worthless at that point. But there's another nice thing about this grinder, is that this thing pops off, so your hopper pops off, and if you want to replace the beans in here with like decaf or something like that for the end of the day, it's not too terribly hard. Just remember though, there is going to be retention in this grinder. It's not a zero retention grinder. So if you are going to do decaf at night, make sure you do purge the machine so that you're not drinking fully caffeinated coffee for your first shot. The other thing too I wanted to say that is a pro-ish con-ish item is the steam wand. So the steam wand is nice. It feels good. It's on a full ball joint. It's nice to be able to move it around and everything. But I will say it does take me or you or whoever owns the machine, it's going to take about 1 minute and 30 seconds to fully froth milk and bring it up to about 130 degrees. So it's a very, very long time, especially when you compare it to other machines. Even the Breville Pro, once you get to the Pro model, you're going to get this to steam in like 30 seconds opposed to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And why I say it's sort of a pro-con is that it is nice to start with. So even though it's very slow, you could really learn how to do your milk texturing. I have a video I'll link above. You can click on that shows you how to milk texture. But it is nice to learn on because it is slow and it's very forgiving, that you can really take your time and get that swirl going. So, one of the other things too on that list of like sort of pros, sort of cons is the portafilter. I like the portafilter. It's pretty heavy, pretty hefty, and it feels nice. It doesn't feel chintzy. It feels very nice, but it is made out of like an aluminum steel mix, an alloy. So what happens is it doesn't retain quite as much heat as other espresso machines when you're pulling your shot. Now you can solve that with a bottomless portafilter like I have here, because then the heat doesn't get removed from the portafilter. But that's about the only option you have, because there's not many third-party accessories for a 54 millimeter portafilter. And that is one of the cons of this machine in general, is that it's not a standard size portafilter and espresso basket. So even if you want to upgrade the baskets that come with this machine, you really don't have a lot of options there either. So again, things to consider as you progress in your kind of espresso journey. As I have, I've kind of, this has kind of made me want and desire more. To move on to just like pure cons, things that I just purely do not like. The size is kind of, it's okay. I wish that it was maybe not as high on this bean hopper. That's probably the main thing that I really don't like, is that if you want to pour coffee beans into this and you have it underneath if you have this like pretty far underneath a cabinet, it's pretty hard to get one of the, let's say we get this. If this is full, it's kind of hard to get this in there. So, it's not bad, it's not terrible, but it could be a little bit better. The other thing too is the cup warmer is just not great. Because this is plastic and because it's also graded like this, and it is a thermoblock machine, this just doesn't get very hot up here. It's not that it doesn't warm up at all, it just doesn't get as warm as a lot of other machines, especially in this price category. I think that's just about it. So if you were wondering what the score is, that I was going to give it. I already gave it a score of 7.5, and I'm going to continue to give it a 7.5. I think this is like a benchmark espresso machine. I think a lot of people should start here or might even end here. It's a very, very good machine. It can do a lot of very impressive things, especially at the price. And it seems like they last pretty well. You know, it's just a really great machine to have and learn on and kind of, you know, own. I think it's a good machine to own. Me and my wife have been using it for, you know, a year now. We've loved it, like I showed in the video earlier. I think it is a great addition to your home, and I think that if you're looking to buy this machine, I say pull the trigger. The links for all of the stuff that I use on this Breville Barista Express will be included below. That's including the portafilter, the tamper, all the stuff that I've ever used for this machine is included. So go ahead and click on those and, you know, figure out what you want to do and buy for your machine. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.